Hi, I'm Jill with the West Regional Branch of the Mobile Public Library, and I am back again with another book recommendation, or really this time it is a recommendation for an author, Cat Sebastian. She writes Regency romances, and they all follow the standard Regency romance pattern where, you have two people who meet and they have some witty repartee and some conflict about social class and money and, what's acceptable in society, and then they get through their trials and tribulations and fall in love and get together and live happily ever after. So she's very much in line with the standard Regency romance tropes. And she does have a couple that are basically just the same as all the other Regency romances that you may have read, where it's a heterosexual regular couple. However, she in a lot of her books, she includes sexual identity, sexual orientation, and gender identity stuff. So she's got several of them that are gay romances with two men. She's got at least one where it's two women, and then she's got some where you have some transgendered, or I think there's one with like a demisexual. But anyway, so she has these different kinds of representation, and but even when it has different representation in the novel, it still follows strictly the Regency romance pattern, where, like I said, you have the witty repartee and the happy ending, which is different than most of your like gay fiction, because they tend toward the dramatic and the sad ending, whereas these, like I said, they are very much standard romance novels, except they also have this sexual orientation and gender identity element. If you're looking for a fun, fast, romantic, funny read, I would highly recommend Cat Sebastian. I've liked every single one of hers that I've read. A selection of her books are available on Hoopla for checkout, and I think we have both ebook and the audiobook versions of some of them. And now for food things, one thing I have been very impressed with lately is your various like vegan, plant-based, vegetarian mock meats, where you have things like the Beyond Burger and the Impossible Burger and the Awesome Burger and Corn, all these different manufacturers that make meat that are not actually meat. And I have to say, they have come a long way since Tofurky. Tofurky, some of their products taste fine, but they definitely taste like tofu. Where some of these new ones that they come out with, if no one told you they weren't meat, you wouldn't know they weren't meat, especially if you're eating them, with all of your condiments and fixings that you put on a hamburger, like mustard and lettuce and tomato and onions and pickles and stuff. Or, you have them like in a dish with some gravy on top. Like once you put all of the like seasoning and condiments on them, you almost can't distinguish them from real meat. And now, as for why you might want to eat these, of course, you have ethical reasons for like vegans and vegetarians. And there's also environmental concerns, beyond just the animal, caring about animals. There's also environmental concerns where growing plants is not quite as much of an impact on our environment as animal farming is. You might also just be curious, because I know that is one of the reasons, like every time I hear about another one of these, it's like supposed to be just like meat. I'm like, but is it really? And I've got to try it out. And like I said, I am very impressed with how very much like meat some of these brands are. One thing you probably shouldn't eat these for is for health reasons. Unless you've got an allergy. If you've got an allergy, that's, a different thing. But generally the ones that taste a lot like meat, if you read the nutritional information about fat and calories and protein, they're actually usually pretty close to what you find in real meat. So just because it's plants doesn't mean it's healthy. So, keep that in mind. But I just found it's just fascinating how close they can get to real meat without actually having any meat in the product. So if you haven't tried any of the, really well rated mock meats, give it a shot, because I think you'll be surprised just, that they do come so close to real meat. Anyway, leave me a comment down below. What have you been reading or eating? And if you've tried any mock meats, what did you think of them? And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.